Hello everyone, welcome to the channel and welcome to this election prediction video that I'm going to be doing today. Today we are going to be analyzing some of early voting data out of North Carolina, Ohio, a lot of these different states that are up for grabs this year, and talking about how each candidate needs to perform in order to win. Now, I'm going to be talking about a Donald Trump victory first, and then I'm going to be talking about a Joe Biden victory. I'm finally going to be touching on this election, as I've been avoiding it because it has just gotten so wild that I could not keep up with what was going on. So anyway, we're going to be moving from east to west today, and then we are going to be analyzing the states in a Donald Trump victory. So in a Donald Trump victory, he absolutely needs to hold on to the states of Florida, North Carolina, Ohio, and then at least maybe even the state of Arizona, but he doesn't really have to. And I'm going to show you the most likely scenario that I think Donald Trump has at this point in this election. Pennsylvania is a lost cause. Possibly, I may be wrong on Pennsylvania, and if I am, it's going to be a lot better for Donald Trump because he only needs, about 23 electoral votes to win. We're at 247 to 240 so far. And that's only if Pennsylvania goes into the Democratic column. But if we actually go over to Michigan, I do believe that Donald Trump will be able to keep his hands on Michigan because Michigan has actually been showing a lot of good returns within the mail-in balloting. Mail-in balloting and in-person balloting, actually only mail-in balloting has actually begun in the state of Michigan. In-person balloting has not begun yet. I don't know when it begins, but I know it's going to begin soon. But with that information, we have actually been seeing that Michigan has been consistently with Republicans. More Republican ballots have actually been requested than Democrat. However, this point lead is basically less than 5 points. It's like a 3-point lead for the Republicans, and that's not a for sure thing that's saying that the Republicans can win. It's going to be by a very narrow margin. I definitely would say so. In the state of Wisconsin, it's going to be the same scenario. I do believe Donald Trump will be able to hold on to the state of Wisconsin in a very narrow scenario. Because of just the division. Kenosha has been in the news recently. That has definitely been affecting a lot of Wisconsin voters. But the thing is that even though that has been there and that has been negative, it has affected different people differently. And so that has definitely been dividing these Wisconsin and Michigan voters that have been up for grabs. Donald Trump has won this presidential election with 273 electoral votes, and we have 2 states to go. If we go over to Minnesota, I do believe the Democrats will be able to hold on to the 10 electoral votes out of the state of Minnesota. However, it's going to be by a very narrow margin. In mail-in balloting, there has actually been a lot of strong Democratic support. It's been over 50 or 60% of the less than 1 million, I think it's 800,000 mail-in ballots that have actually been returned, and about 60% of those have been Democratic ballots. So in the mail-in balloting, it really depends on what the numbers look like on election day, and a lot of people still have not voted in the state of Minnesota and do not plan to until election day. Going over to the state of Arizona, looking at the numbers that I've been seeing, there have been a lot going over to Arizona. In Maricopa County alone, Republicans are actually leading the party registration ballot by 5 points. Now, assuming that most of those people actually vote for Donald Trump, that would definitely show that Donald Trump has a very strong chance. However, the votes in Maricopa County does not mean that he can win outright, because that's not how Arizona's population is spread. They're actually spread throughout the state, and not everyone is actually in the urban center. So the rural vote actually does have a strong holding on the electoral votes of Arizona. Now, if you actually go up to the north, where the Navajo Nation is actually based, they are very much reliably Democrat and definitely seem to be voting democratically in this election. So it really does depend on how the rural margins actually turn out for Trump. If he can actually outperform Joe Biden or even keep it close in those counties, then I definitely think that Arizona could stay with the Republican Party, and then we would have a couple of electoral votes left. I do think that Joe Biden will be able to hold on to Maine at large, but I think that if Donald Trump does actually win in this scenario, then I definitely think he can hold on to the state of the one electoral vote out of the state of Maine with that second electoral district. Going over to the state of Nebraska, I do think that Donald Trump will not be able to hold on to the city of Omaha, so I think that Joe Biden could actually be the first Democratic candidate since the 2008 election to get an electoral vote out of the state of Nebraska. If that is the case, then that ends up being a 285 electoral vote victory for Donald Trump, and then 253 electoral vote loss for the Democratic Party. Now, in a Joe Biden victory, if there is any sort of case that we are looking at, then it is going to be based off of the polls. If we're going specifically based off of the polls, Donald Trump will not even be able to come close to winning Wisconsin and Michigan. That would automatically give Joe Biden the victory if Joe Biden can flip all of the Rust Belt states that Donald Trump flipped in 2016, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. If he can grab that blue wall and reinstitute it back into the Democratic Party, then he will definitely be able to win this presidential election. If Donald Trump does not win 2 out of the 3 states of that Rust Belt, then he cannot win. If he loses Arizona and then loses 2 out of the 3, then Donald Trump does not have a path to victory. If Joe Biden can win 2 out of the 3, then Donald Trump, his chances definitely do go down. Now, if we're going again based by the polls, then Joe Biden would definitely be winning in the state of Ohio. He would be winning possibly very narrowly in the state of Iowa. Then he would be winning in the state of North Carolina and Florida. In a very good scenario for the Democratic Party, they would be winning the states of Georgia, Texas, and Arizona. In a very, 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 very good scenario, they would even win the state of Indiana. That would leave them in that case with 423 electoral votes to 115 electoral votes. Do you guys really think that's going to happen? I highly doubt it. I'm just going off of a very good scenario for the Democratic Party. Obviously, they would definitely win that one electoral vote out of the state of Maine, and then in Nebraska, that not the third electoral district, that would definitely stay over there, but that first electoral district would definitely go over to the Democratic Party, but the chances of that are very nil. I do think that Joe Biden will only be able to get the second electoral district of the state of Nebraska, but this is definitely not what I think is going to happen. In a very realistic, likely scenario, I do think that this will be the final map that Donald Trump will be able to hold on to. I think that he will be able to hold on to the states of Michigan and Wisconsin, as well as maybe losing an electoral vote out of Nebraska, holding on to an electoral vote out of the state of Maine. That would leave him with 274 electoral votes to 264 electoral votes. But the information coming out of Arizona definitely would keep Arizona within the victory column with the Republican Party. And if Arizona can hang on to the Republican Party, and then Donald Trump can hold on to one of these states in the Rust Belt, he could actually win. But if he actually wins Arizona but then loses Michigan and Pennsylvania, that would tie the Electoral College. So this is another scenario that we could actually be looking at, and that is actually dependent on whether Donald Trump can actually hold on to that electoral vote in Nebraska. If he doesn't, then that could actually send us into a House of Representatives vote. If he can actually hold on to all of the electoral votes out of Nebraska, then that would land him with exactly the magic number that he would need to win the presidential elections. That's assuming he can hold on to Ohio, North Carolina, and Florida. Now, with that out of the way, thank you guys so much for watching this, and I'm going to leave this on the map that I really think is going to happen. But with that out of the way, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you guys in the next one. If you guys want to see more election-based content, just let me know, and I'll see you guys there.